Hello Musici, this is one of the most beautiful fugues by Johann Sebastian Bach. Most beautiful, of course, all his fugues are beautiful, but this one is very special in counterpoint because it contains a lot of interesting things. Basically, in the first 4 bars, we have all the elements that will be developed through the entire fugue. So what we're going to do in this video, it's an analysis of this fugue, and on Patreon, so join Patreon, you can download these PDF analysis so you can follow the video, and even another one, this one, which is a PDF I made of the fugue with colors so that you can follow all the things and to see how then they are inverted with all the other elements. So this is a very incredible fugue because it has a lot of invertible counterpoint, the subject mirrors, so a very beautiful fugue. Now watch the analysis, and then if you want to support this project to spread early music through all the worlds and to get access to new exclusive things every day, because every day you find something new to learn, something about fugues, compositions, sequences. We do something something new every day. Join us, join our community on Patreon, where you see there's even the brevis level where you can start 1 week free, and then if you like continue. So all the links in the description. Then this video is a recording of one of my one-to-one apprenticeship sessions. So if you want to learn to compose music in this style and analyze some specific pieces, you're free to contact me, and so we can work together and schedule your session. So let's continue our journey together. Enjoy the video. So the first thing to do in general when we approach a fugue of that period, of that style, consists in understanding if this is a fugue which is written, let's say, in an ancient style or in a more modern style. What do I mean? There are some fugues, for example, do you know this prelude?
Yes.
Maybe you haven't noticed that, but this is a prelude which contains a fugue, because this is a prelude, a preambulum, a prelude in the ancient style. So in this prelude we have a little exordium followed by a fugue, and then with a conclusion, and then there is a fugue. For example, the fugue that we have here, it's a fugue which has more than one subject in the ancient style, with long notes in a more motet style. And going on. There are other fugues, for example, the ones that we have in the C sharp minor, the C sharp minor, let's see, D major. This is a fugue which is very close to an ancient style of writing, more than a gallant 18th century. So we are approaching a fugue which is clearly not written in an ancient style, but more in a modern style. If I ask you, what kind of dance is this? When we talk about dances in fugue, I'm not saying that this is a dance, but the rhythm, the phrasing of the subject can be assimilated to a dance, because we have many compositions that are not dances, but we may have the subject which sounds like a gavotte or like a minuet or a passepied. If I ask you what kind of dance could the subject be, what's your answer?
Minute?
No.
No? Okay.
No.
Because
Another one?
Gabot?
No, because the gavotte is in 2/4 and or a 2/4 or 2/2 and would
Okay.
start
That
before. This is a
that one?
no, it's a sarabanda.
Saraband? Okay.
Yes.
Saraband.
Why?
Okay.
Why? First of all, in the minuet, usually we have a movement which is more in quarter notes and without so expressive, character and taste. Here, the reason why we say that this seems to be a saraband in the rhythm is because at the end, in the second phrase, we have something, an accent on the second beat,
Yes.
and we are in 3/4. Then we are
Yes.
using, we use eighth notes mainly in moving, and 16th notes, thanks to the slur, appears to be pa, 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 ornamentation. So this is very close to the Saravan taste. Now, from a
Saraba.
counterpoint point of view, this is a very complex fugue. This is a very complex fugue. Now,
Yes.
when we talk about a fugue, what are the elements to take into consideration? First of all, tell me. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
First of all,
The main idea and then the answer and things like that.
exactly. So we have the subject at the beginning.
Yeah, subject.
This one.
Yes.
And where does the
Mhm.
subject finishes?
That
Finish.
A.
On that A. Good. Now,
Mhm.
not all the subjects can be good for a fugue. Why?
Mm.
Because in general, fugue subjects follow some principle. We have the head of the subject. Here, the subject is
Yeah.
starting.
I briefly looked at your write your own fugue video.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Ah, you have,
I
tell
looked
me.
at your video. Yeah,
Okay,
your video. Yeah.
which one? The
So
fugue in 20 steps?
yes,
Okay,
yes, that one.
but that one it's it's on a very easy subject. This is much more complex. We have the head of the
Okay.
subject, and then
Mm-hmm.
the ending of the subject. Sometimes we may have a sequence within the subject. Here we don't have a sequence at all.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
So this. Now in this fugue we do have a counter subject. Not always. I mean, it's not
Mm-hmm.
necessary, but sometimes, like here, we have a counter subject.
Mm-hmm.
Exposition. So in the exposition, we
Mm-hmm.
have all the material we need for the fugue. For example, let's use the color red for the subject. Pa, re, mi, fa, sol, mi, fa, re, do, re, fa, sol, la. Now,
Mm-hmm.
another important thing to notice. This is starting on degree number 1. This is
Right.
something which is very important to notice, because sometimes we have something which is a transposition of the subject, which instead of starting on degree 1, it remains in D minor, but it starts on the
Mm-hmm.
5th degree,
Mm.
which is not A minor, it's still D minor, but on the 5th degree. We'll see this
Right.
later. Now, the answer,
Mm.
of course, will be the 5th degree. In general, we have the distinction between tonal and real answer. Here is all a real answer because it's the exact transposition a fifth higher. Fa,
Mm.
sol, la. Because we are in D minor, it's like if you read this in the natural hexachord on C ut.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And the answer, because re is on A, is G ut, like the hard hexachord. Okay, G ut. Good. Then our counter subject. Where is it? The counter subject starts this point. La, tu, tu, ri, tu, la, sol, fa, mi, re, mi. Here, la, sol, fa, mi, re, mi. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
La, sol, fa, mi. Let's use this color. Sol, fa, mi, re, mi. Then
Mm-hmm.
let's even mark this. I'll show you why. Now, okay, as you can see, this is a very, let's say, strange exposition, because we should expect something going on. I mean, we have the subject, And then we have this bar. But if the subject finishes here, what's happening in the following bar? Great question, because the counter subject is starting here.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Then the counter subject is starting here,
Yes.
but it's ending there. So this is just a little continuation of the counter subject. Why? Because the true counter subject is arriving later. Here. Ta 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 ra ta ra ta ta ta. Ta ra ta ra ta ra ta ta. Now I want you to notice one more thing. Do you see this ascending sixth lip?
Yes.
Now, what's the inversion of the ascending sixth in terms of intervals? If we have an ascending minor sixth, inverted becomes a descending
major third.
Major third, exactly. That's why this counter subject is broken between the two middle voices. Do you see the descending major third?
Oh.
Yes,
Okay.
this is something that from a scholastic point of view, a regular fugue is not considered. But in this style, in Baroque style, we can do that. What's one of the reasons why of this choice? We may have these different things in explanation. One of these is that in general, one of the rules, or better, the most important rules of a counter subject is that it should be written in invertible counterpoint, at least at the octave. What's the problem of invertible counterpoint at the octave? That if we exceed the range of the octave, of one octave, we don't have a true inversion, because the inversion of the octave is the unison. The inversion of the sixth is a third. The inversion of a tenth is a third, but they are not inverted.
I see.
Because here we have the tenth, by transposing down this another octave, and so in the other voice, it's another way to continue the counter subject. So it's still present, but in another voice, in the middle voice. Then something very interesting to notice, that here tan tan la ta 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 ram, here the counter subject is starting on this note, which is an A, creating an octave over the bass. Here, what's one of the other problems? This. If we have the subject starting with D, what's up a fifth? I mean, the subject is ending a fifth higher. So from D, it's ending on A. Okay? The answer, if it starts on A, because we're in A minor, a fifth higher, there is E.
Yes.
So we need the relationship between the beginning of the subject and the end of the subject to be an octave. And so that's why we have A and A. Indeed, the end of the subject and the beginning of the answer, they match. A and A, they're an octave. This doesn't happen with the end of the answer, let's say at the fifth degree, and the beginning of the subject, because it's a D.
Right.
So we have one step, which is the difference. And this creates a little problem. Indeed, do you see that we have this section starting on D?
See.
Then this starts a step down. So on E, by doing this, Bach creates a little cadence in order to start then the counter subject in the top voice, let's say, and only after that he puts the complete counter subject. We could even say one more thing. According to a regular exposition, the counter subject should be, do you know where? In the continuation of the subject. So the counter subject should be in the middle voice. But because of the cadence, it's like if he's starting the counter subject, then he cannot continue it anymore. So he repeats the same thing, a step, instead of a step down, a seventh up in the top voice. Then he brings the continuation of the counter subject back to the middle voice. This way it makes sense. Okay.
Wow.
On the other hand, the counter subject in the top voice continues with 1, 2, 3 with this figure, which will be one of the most important things of the first episode in this fugue. Then we have a new subject, a new exposition, I mean, a new enter of the subject in the bass. On D, re, mi, fa, sol, mi, fa, re, do, re, fa, sol, la, sol, fa, mi, re, sol, and then continues that way with
Yeah.
la, sol, fa, mi, re, sol. This section, okay, which works through, okay, like a counter as a counter subject, but even like a little codetta, a little continuation of the subject. It's very blur the function of this section, because here it's a counter subject at the end, but here it's a little codetta, then it rejoins as a counter subject. Here we have this, and it's still working even as a counter subject. Why? Because you see, we have another subject in the top, but instead of re, mi, fa, sol, re, mi, fa, sol, mi, fa, re, do, re, fa, we have mi, fa, sol, la, fa, re, do, re, fa. If we want to be precise, we should have this like in G minor, because re, mi, fa, sol, mi, fa, re, mi, fa, sol, mi, fa, re, do, re, fa, sol, la. But here it's subject, which is modified. Mi, fa, sol, la, fa, where at the place of one step, we have a fourth. Fa, 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 fa. You see? Then
Yes, right here.
what happens is that the interaction between the subject, and the counter subject. Here, if we check the regular version, we have 8, 7.
Yes.
Let's write the intervals. 8, 7,
Right.
6. Then we have 4, 3, 4, 3, 4, 3, and 3. Now, the inversion, because now the subject is at the top, the inversion should be, for example, unison or octave again, 8, then 2, 3, the fourth becomes a fifth, 6, 5, 3, 5, 3. Really sounding parallel octaves. Parallel octaves, I mean parallel fifth. Let's play this. Tell me.
You those numbers, the bottom one, 8, 2, 3, 5, 6, 5, 3, 5, 3. That's compared to which note?
Yes, I'm going to write it. One moment.
Oh, no, it's
No, no,
not.
no.
What is it?
Yeah, I'll write it. Is this thing?
Oh, okay. From that A. Okay.
Yes,
3.
basically, I'm studying the inversion of this counter subject. So what happens if I do this?
Okay.
La, sol, fa, mi, re, mi, and I put the counter subject into the lower voice this way.
Oh, I see. Okay. So to
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't work because there are parallel fifths.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Now,
That's good. Mm.
what happens in this section? First of all, we can see that we have a seventh here. This seventh is the inversion of the second. And this inversion of the
Yes.
second seems really to be what we have here. I mean, if we have this note E, and we make
Mm-hmm.
start the subject low, we get
Mm-hmm.
the second. And
Right.
if this is at the top, we get a seventh, because here we have a ninth. Inverted, this relationship is a seventh. Indeed, we had the answer here in A minor, and then
Mm-hmm.
D minor the subject. So A minor the answer, followed by D minor at the fifth degree. Now, if we check this subject in its true version, should be G, A, B, C. So let's play this way, and we have A and G, the same seventh. Why? Because this D would be followed by G minor. So A minor, D minor, G minor. And we have the problems of parallel fifth as before, and counterpoint is not working anymore. So, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So, what to do in that case? If we, instead of this note, which is a seventh, we do, or better, seventh, eight, because we are talking about this relationship, this relationship which becomes, let's write them. So we start with the fifth,
Mm-hmm.
five, or no, I mean the seventh, because I'm thinking about the G. So seven. But how do we get to this point? Do you see that here we have an octave? Do you see this octave?
Yes. Yes.
This
Yes.
octave in the regular version, if we don't attach one more bar, should be a ninth. So from another table, we get all of these numbers plus 1. 9, then
Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
9, 9, 9, 10. Let's see. One, plus 1 in this inversion, but
Mm-hmm.
less 1 because they are still inverted, the soprano and the bass. So 7, then 8. This is 9 less 1, 8. 10 less 1, 9. 5 less 1, 4. 6 less 1, 5. 4, 5. 4, no. 4, 4,
9.
I don't, yes, but this is, I wrote it, it's a 6 and 6,
Oh.
that's why.
Oh.
4, no,
Okay.
4, 5,
5.
4, 5. So,
Okay.
this is what we get. 7,
Mm-hmm.
8, 4, 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5. I'm playing this with the orange notes.
Mm.
Now, if we transpose the head of the subject down a third, so all
Mm-hmm.
of these numbers, less 3, a third, less a third
Mm-hmm.
in music in terms of intervals means less 2, because a third, so a third is 2 steps. So 7
Mm-hmm.
less 2, so down a third,
Mm-hmm.
is 5.
Yeah. 5, yeah.
8 less 2 is 6. 7,
Mm,
4,
2.
2, 3,
Mm-hmm.
2, 3, 2, 3.
And you have
5,
more consonants.
6, 6, our 6, 6.
Uh,
Then 6, 7, 9, so 2, 9, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3. And they work like appoggiaturas of the third. 2, 3, 2, 3, 2,
yeah.
3. This is how it works. Then,
Wow.
this is a very complex fugue. You chose a very complex fugue. Then, from this point, we have the last entry and the fourth entry, which is a little modified from this way, but this is regular. Then this is just an episode. And how does it work? How does it work? It works this way. First of all, with the episode, we have la sol fa mi re sol, la sol fa mi re sol, sol fa mi re sol. This. Look at this lip. This is sol fa mi re sol,
Uh-huh.
and transposed
That's
from this is E, this note. Here is A. So it's transposed down a fifth. Then this is the continuation from this point. You see this D and you see this F. Re, fa, ta, ra, ra, ta, ra, ta, ra, ta. This third is here. So this is the, let's say, the counter subject, the fifth of the fifth, plus is continuation a step higher, a third higher. So third here and 3 up here. And from this point, this is an element of the counter subject. Then working a step down. Now, if I ask you what's the pattern used in this sequence, what would you answer?
the suspension and 7/8.
No, it's a suspension in the bass.
No.
Look, I mean, all of these,
Suspension in the bass.
yes, as a figuration, because here on this G we can write a 6/3 harmony. Okay, but then Sol, 6/4 Sol, suspension in the bass, Sol, Fa, 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 Mi. It's a tied bass.
Yeah, tied bass.
Exactly.
Okay.
So the structure is a tied bass. Fa, mi, fa, with chromaticism. Fa, mi. The structure is a tied bass, and the tied bass is used with the figurations of the subject, of the counter subject. Fa, 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 mi, re. This way. Then parallel thirds, and in the top there is the second part. Let's use another color, the color blue, for this part of the subject, the second part of the subject. Ta-ra, ta-ra, tan, tan, tan. Then these, even here, this element, ta, ta, ra, tan, tan. It's spread between the two voices, but this recall this figuration. Do you see? Ta ta
Yeah.
ta tam 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 ta 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 tam tam tam. Exactly.
I see.
The reason
Sequence.
so perfect, but
Is it? Would you say fonte or no?
not necessarily, because the font is something repeated 2 times. Here we have 1, 2, and 3 repetition. No, it's not a font. It's just a simple bass.
Okay.
Just a simple tight bass.
Okay.
What's different here compared to what we have? So to the main thing is that here we have the sixth lip. The reason why we don't have the sixth lip is because these notes are already in the bass. So this way we get parallel octaves with the bass. So Bach is deciding to use the so parallel thirds. If we want to be precise, the transposition fa ma pa pam 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 pa pa pam pam pam. Here is the subject, but we have thirds because this works as a continuation of the little counter subject. Then these elements, they are overlapped. Now, what follows after this? As you can see, this seems to be the subject, only the second part. So let's say the blue part of the subject as a continuation. Instead of being in the top, look at this, D, or better, E flat, C, D, B, C, A, B flat, G. It's the continuation, but in the bass.
Okay.
Pam. They continue the pattern. To arrive on the fifth degree. Cool.
Wow.
Now, what's happening here in the middle voice? The middle voice is joining La, Sol, Fa, Mi, Sol, Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, Mi, Fa, La, Sol, Fa, Mi, Sol, Do. This is the head of the subject inverted. La, Sol, Fa, Mi, Sol, Do. Re, mi, fa, sol, mi. You see?
Yes.
Then, do you remember when I told you at the beginning that this is a subject in D minor starting on the first degree?
Yes.
And this is the subject in A minor starting on the first degree. And I told you that sometimes we can have the subject starting on the fifth degree. Here it is.
Right?
It starts on A, but it's not in A minor. This is still D minor, but starting on the fifth degree. This is D minor subject.
Yes.
Then D minor subject, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, Mi, Fa, la, ba, ba, pam, 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 and we have a very interesting stretto. Sol, Fa, Mi, Re, Sol, Do, Re, La, Re, with the inversion. The inverted subject. Let's use the purple.
Wow.
Here. Now, how should the inverted subject be? This is the question. How does the inversion of the subject works? This is the subject in D minor.
Yes.
The inversion of the subject in that case, keeping F, the middle of the fifth, as the point of inversion, we should get La, Sol, Fa, Mi, Sol, Fa, La, Di, La, Tu, Fa, Sa, La, Tu, Mi. We should get this inversion. So La.
Oh,
Yes, because there are many ways for inverting things in
yeah.
music. One of these
Mhm.
is the ut. Ut is la, which means ut re mi fa sol. Let me take. No, I have to add. I have to add just a blank sheet music page. I can
Mhm.
take it from here. No, no. Here, I mean, no. I want to open this. Okay. Copy. Okay, we don't need this. We are this point, and let's paste. Okay, now keep learning. Learn every day. One day, a bit of compositional technique. Another day, some musical rhetoric. Then maybe some Baroque improvisation. On Patreon, inside the Musici Practici community, I share exclusive content every single day to inspire you, to support you, and help you persevere in your journey. Videos, articles, and resources, and anything that can be useful for you. Go to our Patreon page, choose the contribution you'd like to give, and join us. This is the secret to every success. Keep learning, learn every day. Inversions. The subject is Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, Mi, Fa, Re, Do, Re, Fa, 3, 4. Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, Mi, Fa, Re, Do, Re, Fa, Sol, La. Okay. Now, the inversion can be made in different ways. In the ancient way, let's say more Renaissance way, ut is la, which means that we write our table ut, re,
Mhm.
mi, fa, sol, la. Ut is la,
Mhm.
re is sol, or better, we
No.
write it backwards. Ut, re, mi, fa, sol, la. Okay, this is not the way implied by Bach, but this can work. We have re. Re corresponds to sol. So we should have
Okay.
sol. Then mi corresponds to fa. So how to use this table? Let's see. In the inversion, according to this system, we get sol, fa, mi, sol, fa, mi. Then sol is re, re, re. Then we have mi. Mi is fa. Sol, fa, mi, re, fa. Then sol, fa, mi, re, fa. We move down. Let's write it up. This way we have more space. Sol, fa, mi, re, fa.
So I have a question.
Tell me.
So the right there, re mi, where you're writing, it's not mi fa sol la fa. Um,
Mi, fa,
are
sol, la, fa.
you yeah? Are you copying from measure 8?
Measure 8 of the fugue.
Yeah, the second measure looks a lot like measure 9.
Measure 8. 5,
Yes.
6, 7, 8. Yes, but this is the subject modified. Because it's instead
Ah,
of starting
okay.
on G, we had this down a third, because
Yes,
otherwise it sounds parallel fifths. That's
right.
why only
Yeah.
the head is modified. So we are talking now
Mm.
about these inversions, how to arrive to these inversions of the subject.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So
Oh, I'm
yeah,
sorry.
yeah,
The
okay,
phone
okay.
is ringing.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Answer.
Okay.
Here we are doing this inversion. Now, following the, let's say, the ancient way of doing inversion, we get something, we get this. Wait. Here we are
Mm.
moving down. We're moving up a third. ta, ti, dun, 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 then down a sixth. This. But as you can see, this is not what Bach is doing, even because one of the problem with this kind of inversion in a tonal music is that it tends to change the minor or major taste. On the other hand, what is more common in the Baroque style is another inversion, where instead of making ut, la, and la ut, we hold the third degree of the harmony. So if we have
Yeah.
ut, re, mi, fa, sol, la, we are in a minor key, so fa corresponds to fa. Sol, la, la, sol,
Oh,
fa,
wow.
mi, re, ut. In the major mode, we have mi corresponding to mi. Here, we're in the minor mode,
Yes.
so fa to fa. And
Oh,
which
wow.
means let's write this in the inversion. So fa to fa means that re, mi, fa, sol, fa remains fa, and we get la, la, sol, fa, mi, sol, fa, la, sol, fa, mi, sol, mi, sol, fa, fa, la. Then let's follow the intervals fa, la, do, mi, this way. Let's look at this
Wow.
inversion. Play the inversion. Okay, now let's see if in this fugue we can find the complete inversion, because it will arrive. Here, play this phrase.
Oh.
Okay, here it is. Here is the inversion.
Yeah.
You see?
Right.
But what about this inversion? Because the strange thing is that we have the sharp here. So this is the inversion of the subject starting at the fifth degree, as
Yeah.
you can see. Now my question is there another way to arrive to this inversion? Yes, there is another way to arrive to this inversion. How? This way. Let's do a copy of this. And or better, no, let's write it in the middle of the score. Now you'll see why. We'll write this in a position re, mi, fa, sol, mi, fa, re, do, re, in a soprano clef. Yes, which is much better. So la, re, mi, fa, sol, mi. Then sol, mi, fa, re, do, re, fa, re, do, re, fa, sol, la, sol, mi, this way. Okay, now we have to take this, and we need another key this way. So let's do no, not copy but screenshot. Screenshot, where is this? Here it is.
Oh, wow. Oh.
Yes.
Oh.
And so let's we need a clef which is reading a fifth higher, A. This should be so an A. A means that the clef is the alto clef, the new clef. But you'll read this from the right. La, sol, fa, mi, sol, fa, la, because this is a sharp referring to the following note. So there is a semitone here. La, fa, la, do, mi, re, as you can see. Now let's do the same
Yes.
thing with the subject starting at the fifth degree. The subject starting at the
I
fifth
have a
degree. Tell me,
question.
tell me, tell me.
So, I feel very stupid, but I don't understand the top part. So you put the C clef, alto clef, right? So the first note is a C.
The first note is a
It's not a
C.
G.
This note.
I mean, no, no, no. Yes, on the above, not the staff. The
Yes,
stuff above that. So
but
that's a B flat? No, no, above that.
that's a B flat. Yes. Are you
No,
talking about this? Okay.
no, no, no. The stuff above that, the, where you first wrote. The first note, it looks like a D if it was a G clef. It's a B flat, right?
And yes, I mean, I wrote the. I used the
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
My little mistake. Yes, I was reading
Oh,
in
okay.
a yes. Right.
Okay.
Right. Okay. This way
All right.
we get the inversion. Why
Yeah.
soprano and alto clef? If you check the relationship between the soprano and the alto clef
Mm-hmm.
is a
Yes.
fifth. So you see,
Uh-huh.
it's a fifth. So it means that what is ut is sol, and sol becomes ut. And
Mm-hmm.
what is re and la can be interchanged because the relationship is a fifth. Now
Yes.
we'll do the same thing with the subject starting at the fifth degree. So here there is the soprano clef, but now we'll now let's write it in the alto clef here. Why? Because basically it better stays within the stuff with the flat
Mm-hmm.
rest
Mm-hmm.
ta 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 mm, ta 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 tan, ta 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 fa sol la. Here is the subject on the fifth degree. On the fifth
Mm.
degree, still in D minor, because it's not A minor.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Now, let's do the same process. So we'll take this screenshot, okay, and
Mm-hmm.
we invert this. Now we need
Right.
another clef good
Right.
for this melody, where
Mm-hmm.
the first note A becomes E.
E.
So what
Yeah.
note is E here? Actually, the same alto clef. The same alto clef because it's on the second part, in the second line of the staff.
Sure.
So it's the same
Sure.
clef.
Yeah.
And so we'll read now with the same alto clef.
Uh-huh.
La, so, fa, mi, so, fa, ra. And we get sol, fa, mi, sol, fa, la, this is what we get. Ta,
Mm.
fa, la, sol, fa, mi, sol, fa, la, sol, fa, la. Let's see what do we have here. Sol, fa, mi, sol, fa, la, sol. Okay, it coincides, and
Woo.
here it's a little different. Now we may
Uh-huh.
ask why is this second part different? Why? Let's see if we can find an answer. Let's see if we can find an answer. So, if we read this in the hexachord, re, fa, mi, sol, fa, la, sol, fa, mi, sol, fa la, re, la, fa, la, re, La, fa, la, re. While in the original version we have re, fa, re, la, la, re. The only thing which comes to my mind is a kind of little irregularity in order to arrive to that A for having a 3/6. I'm not sure, 100% sure. So let's keep for the moment a little question point. Okay. Now let's see what's happening here. So we have a new exposition with the inversion of the subject. Sol, fa, fa, re, mi, sol, fa, and ah. So this look at this point. Here we have A and down a third. 3, 5, 6, 5, 3, down a third melodically. Here is the same note, so this down a third becomes a little third instead down a fifth if we check the mathematical relationship, because we are creating a sequence which is a monte. Now yes, we have a monte. Fa, re, la, and the subject here is not moving randomly, the bass, but it takes the subject in let's say the straight subject starting from, so a third higher. Da, ra, 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 ra. Do you remember the what we had before here? A third down. A third down.
Yes.
Now here is a third up to the then the subject to the fifth degree. Probably one of the reasons of this little modified subject can be the willing to keep an ascending thirds between these two notes in order to create a monte. So if you want to keep the ascending third and we need the C to create the monte in this point, to have this, in order to keep the third, so this note, Bach preferred to transform the sixth into a fifth in order to keep this third. That's why. So that we keep the third and we arrive to B. This may be the interpretation of the reason why, in the compositional process. Then, by the way, in the it continues this way. So now, if we follow this ta 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 tan tan, we should have a G. Why? Because this is arriving from here. La, ta, ta, ti, ta, ta, ti, te, to. It's arriving from this point, the continuation of the subject, because pam pa ta ta ri ro ra ri re ro. It's from A, no, from D. Here, ta, ra, ra, ri, sol, fa, mi, re, sol.
It looks to me that you adjust that leap is the opportunity to adjust and
Yeah. It may be just a choice to have a different ending, because I don't see something thematic in this leap. tari, fa, mi, and fa, mi, fa, mi, fa, mi, re, ri, ti, la, do, la, sol, while we start the subject starting in A minor, because this is A minor, we have C natural, but then it continues in D minor with the C sharp.
Oh,
Thanks to the
wow.
chromaticism. Yes. Because if we were like at the beginning, ta ra 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 ra, re mi fa sol mi fa re do re, we need a C natural.
Yes.
But here,
No wonder it was hard to play.
yes, and this is due to the chromaticism. Then it starts now to be in the fifth degree. At the fifth degree, ti, ta,
Yes.
ta, ta,
Mhm.
ta, ra, ta, ra, tan, tan, tan.
Yes.
Then here, if we check this, 9, 8, 9, 8, 6, 7, 6, 5. 6, 7, 5. Then this is a fifth, 5, 4, 3, 4, 3, 2, and then here it changes from this point because it wants to arrive to A. Then the subject is up to this point. Then let's see. Ta, mi, fa, sol, la, fa, la, da, do, da, ti, re, do, ran, tan. Tara, 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 tan. Tara, 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 ta. Tara, ra, 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 ran. Then and here is the cadence.
Right.
Many of these fugue, a lot of these fugues have a middle cadence. Even the first one, which is very famous, do re mi fa sol fa mi la re sol la sol fa mi. Even this fugue has a very strong cadence to the minor relative, in that case A minor, in the middle of the fugue. And then a new section with more stretti starts. Even in this fugue,
Right.
we have the cadence in the middle, which is at the fifth degree, so A minor cadence. And what's going to happen now? Another exposition in stretto, ta, do, pa, but not a regular exposition, because we have the subject start in D minor, but from the fifth degree. So D minor.
Right. The handout you gave me talked about that, and I bought this book.
You bought it? Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
It's very nice. Then
Yeah.
counter emotion. So the counter emotion, I mean the mirrored version of the subject. Tan, tan, and tari, re, do. Here, fa, mi, the mirrored version again. Do, fa, mi, so, to, ra, ti, ra, ton, tin, and fa, mi, re, do, mi, re, fa, sol, fa, pa, mi, ti. Here it is. Pa, 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 pa. This is D minor starting at the fifth degree. This is the inversion in, let's say, the mirrored version of the D minor starting at the fifth degree, because there is a fifth. Then there is the D minor, the one starting at on the first degree of D minor, inversion. fa ba 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 and here there are these two couple of bars which are a little episode, a little sequence only with the head of the inverted subject. Because the new subject in the complete subject will appear here. La sol fa mi sol sol fa la do mi la re mi re with a little suspension. Now re mi fa sol mi fa. The suspension is almost necessary because of the stretto. Then la sol fa mi sol fa mi re do mi re la sol fa mi sol fa do. Okay, then let's see one more thing, because true that this is the inversion, but this is F, and the true inversion actually should start on A. So what's happening here? We have this subject, like if it's starting a third down, la sol, because we can play them.
Yes.
So it's but less a third, so a third down basically to create a stretto. Yes. Then ta 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 ra ta ta ra 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 ri ra ra. Descending and then ascending. If we want to identify the structural notes, ta fa la sol fa fa sol re la ti pam pam pam. So it's an ascending scale. Arriving here before the new subject, la sol fa mi ti ra ri re sol, the original figure, ta do la ri do ra ri re sol. Then there is another sequence which recalls the sequence we had at the beginning. This sequence is this one, but this is in the soprano, and in the other voice we had ta do ta ti pam. This, which is still inverted, ta, 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 ta. Then it's not anymore inverted, probably in order to have parallel thirds. But then tom, pa. Here is ascending a third. Before that was descending a third. So the inversion is still present, because here the melody is 3 down, but now we have 3 up. So the inversion takes place in one of the two voices. Then tara tara tan tan tan. This part, as we had here, so the blue part, it's present at the same time in the right hand. Tara, tara, mi, do. Do, mi, pi, po. Then re, di, da, bum, bum, ba, 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 bo, bum, ba, fa, la, sol, fa, la. Re. This is in G minor, but on the 5th degree of G minor. Why do we say that? Because we have F sharp. So F sharp belongs to G minor. Do, fa, la. And there is another modification in the subject. Instead of fa, pom, pam, we have this passing tone. Why?
Could you raise the screen? Yes, thank you.
Yes. Probably the reason of this passing tone is because there is another stretto in the middle voice. And so this way it moves with parallel thirds. Then another imitation here, and the subject here. This imitation in contra motion from the 5th degree of G minor. So this is G minor, 5th degree of G minor, G minor, 5th degree. Then inversion, G minor, 5th degree. Then this is do, re, mi, fa. Only the head of the subject, do, re, mi, fa, re. Because then it continues in another way. Here, there's another sequence.
So that's E minor?
E minor.
So, yeah, okay.
No, this is a monte. G minor. A minor. So we are now at the presence of a monte. Ascending sequence D, G, E, A, and then back, thanks to that A major, back to D minor. D minor. If we check the relationship of this passage, we can see a 6th. And an octave. Then another 6th. And an octave. So it's a transposition. A 6.
Yeah.
And an octave. So these 3 bars are a transposition, a step higher, a second up, and then from A to D, so F, G, G, A, and then a 4th higher because we have D. This way we come back with this climax, the highest point. And look at this point. Do you remember this chromaticism? Is something we have already met before here.
Ascending.
This in this section. So 1, 2, 3, 4 bars arriving to the cadence. Now, if we check this is D and this is A. So a 5th down, we should have this D, this to be E, and this D to be in G. No, it's a 4th, so D and G. This should become D, and then this becomes G. And in the bass, re, mi, fa, sol, mi, fa, re, do, re, fa, and another voice here starting with D. Let's see if this is true. D, another voice starting with D.
Mhm.
So
Then G.
we can say exactly that the last 1, 2, 3, and 4 bars, without counting the last 2, are a transposition a fifth down or a fourth up. A fourth up.
Oh.
Very common thing in this style to end the second part as we ended the first part. Even in dances, it's very common. This is a transposition. Even this trill and the previous cadence finished there. Now we have the cadence, but in order to reinforce the final cadence, a more solemn ending. You see? This is a very complex fugue, a very complex fugue.
He's very smart, Bach.
Yes, it's a very complex fugue. I mean, it has a, all the notes that are here are not a fulfillment of the harmony. All of them have a meaning. It can be an inversion. It can be something arriving from the subject or the counter subject. After the opening, so all is arriving from here, here and the counter subject. After the, let's say, the first 2 bars, no, 3 bars, 4, let's exaggerate, 4, we have all what we need to develop the fugue.
Wow.
To make mistakes is human. To learn from them and persist, that's the way of a musicus practicus. Whether your musical goal may be, there is a secret formula to reach it. And no, it's not a magic trick, it's something much more concrete. Perseverance in good things. If you study every day, if you learn even just one small thing every day, you're moving forward, always. And one day, after a month, 6 months, a year, 10 years, you look back and realize you have become a different musician, step by step, without even noticing it. That's the spirit of a musicus practicus. That's why every day on Patreon I share new content to help you learn something new every day, support you on your path of study, inspire you with fresh ideas and new musical perspectives. One day we talk about musical rhetoric, another day I post an exclusive video on improvisation, and another day an article on Renaissance Counterpoint, and so on. Don't miss this opportunity. The choices you make today will shape the musicians you'll become tomorrow. Join the Musicus Practicus community, join us on Patreon, and with a small monthly contribution you'll also be supporting this great global educational project. Go to the link, choose the contribution you want to give, and start learning every single day. To make mistakes is human. To learn from them and improve every day, that's the way of Musici Practici.